Kate has lashes and eye makeup on one eye and not on the other eye. And the thing about Kate's eye is that they're very big and there's a slight bend to her eyes. So if she puts on a really traditional one-piece eyelash where the weight and the length of the lash is at the outer corner, it might slightly make her eyes look like they come down a little. So the lashes that we used have a smaller piece in the corner, and then the length starts just in from the corner. The longest piece of Kate's lash is here, and the piece of her lashes that's actually on the corner is slightly shorter, so it blends the longer piece into her natural lash line. So what I'm doing is kind of bringing Kate's liner up slightly on the outer corner to balance out the curve of her eye, which kind of goes down on the corner. So I'm bringing the eyeliner up a little bit higher on this side, and then I'll be blending it all in. So it doesn't need to be really clean or anything, because ultimately you want to blend it in and you want it to be quite smoky and transparent. Then if we do a little bit of highlighter in the center, and a little bit up through the center of the lid. And I'm just going to follow the same shape because we want to lift up the outer corner of Kate's eye. So I'm using an upward motion here from the corner. And then coming in along her brow bone a little bit. And this is a good guide for where to have your eyeshadow coming. If we started to drag it down this way, it would make the outer corner of her eye look like it was going slightly down. And I always like a bit of contour on the inner corner instead of having it light all the way across. I just think it makes it look a little bit more contemporary, so I put a splash in there as well. Look up. And the outer third of the bottom lid. Again in this upward motion. And now we're ready for lashes. I start with the outside piece. And I like to hold the lash above a bubble of glue. And because the lash pieces are very small, I don't really need to wait a long time for them to dry. So I'm going to fix that at the outer corner. Now I have the second piece. So I just place it right next to the other piece that I first put on. This is the third piece. And you can see I'm just placing it right next to the second piece. Like that. So I just put my finger behind and press Kate's real lashes up into her fake lashes. Like this. Comb through the lashes. And a good way, if you're concerned about the lashes looking really heavy, is to put a little bit of white highlight inside the eye. This is Benefit Eye Bright. And there you have it. Okay, so this segment is about a kind of a fancy party lash. And we have Elena here. She's wearing Get Lashed eyelashes, the feathery ones. We wanted to put these feathery lashes on Elena because she doesn't have big flying saucer eyes. She's got like quite normal size eyes. What we did was we used a cocktail of Bourjois pencil, an eye pencil in smoked brown, and we mixed it with a Revlon Luxurious Color eye pencil in suede brown. And we basically just used the pencils all around her eye, quite a generous amount, and then blended it in with a brush. And we also concentrated a lot on the lower part of Elena's eye to balance the weight of the lash vertically because they're so big, they're kind of top heavy. We used a Sue Devitt in Byrne, which is a highlighting pencil, underneath her brow bone here. And we used a Shuamura hard pencil number 9 in her eyebrow, and a little bit of MAC Dazzle Light, look up, in the inner corner. Because the lashes are so attention grabbing, you kind of want to make sure that the rest of the eye is lit up and carries the weight of them. So the feathery Get Lashed eyelash has been setting in this oval shape to keep a nice curve on it so it fits the eye a bit easier. And when we measured it against Elena's eye, it was a bit longer than her eye. So since this is for her left eye, the outside's a bit heavier. We always cut from the outside corner. And now this is the piece that I've cut off from her right eye. I hold them together like this. So I cut the exact same amount off. And I'm just going to trim it with a Tweezerman scissor for men. Like that. So the glue goes along the bottom and also along the edge. So because of the weight of the lash, I really want to give this about 30 seconds, maybe 45 for the glue to get a little bit tacky, and then I'll just place it. So what I do is try to concentrate on the middle, on just placing the lash in the middle first, and then pushing the edges down, which is relatively easy because they're already kind of curved into an ergonomic shape because of the way that we bent them earlier. And then after the glue is set for a couple of minutes, I'm taking a number 7 extravagant lash, and I'm just going to push Elena's lashes into the feathers so that it doesn't block her vision while she's out on the raz. So I just kind of pull her eyelid up a little bit and just gently press her lashes into the feathers with a bit of mascara. It also helps secure the lash on. Okay, there you have it. We just kept a very plain eyelid and did a liquid line so that you can really see the shape of them. So what we did was we used Christian Dior Intense Style Liner, we used a Revlon Fabulash Mascara, and then we used a Clarins Les Pastel 01. It's a quad, but we just used a little bit of the gold color on the lid for a little bit of a highlight. And you can see a little bit of a gold highlight in the middle. So again, even though we have a really full-on lash, we're bringing a lot of light and shape to the eye so that they don't get heavy and drag the eye down. So the lashes have been setting like this since we took them off the form. And now when we undo them, we've already applied the left eye, and I'll show you how we did it by applying the right eye. They were a little bit long, and these lashes really work out on the outer corner. So if your eye goes down or your eyes are a little round, feel free to just cut a little bit off the outer corner so that you still get the appearance of an upward motion. This is the piece that we cut off the right side. So now we're going to cut a little bit more off the left side as well. If any seem to be sticking out of the row of hair like this, you can just pick them off. It's not a big deal. It's always better to hold the lashes above because if you point the glue down, you have less control over the amount that's coming out. Whereas when it's tilted upright, it always just goes back in. So then you want to wait a good 30 to 45 seconds. What I'm going to do here actually is grab the lash with the Shuamura lash grabber. And this is really easy when you're applying it to yourself because the lash grabber has a nice length on it. So you can kind of hold it to the side and not block your vision when you're looking in the mirror. Kind of line it up. Aim for the center first. You can kind of take the lash grabber and pull them down a little. You have a kind of a window of about 30 seconds where the glue is tacky but it's not set. Push the real lashes against the fake lashes because it helps hold them in place. That's it. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do is to take the mascara. In this case, you have the bristles, which apply mascara, and then the plastic spikes, which really comb through the lashes. And you can do this yourself by holding a mirror below your chin or tipping your chin up toward the mirror. It's always good if you look down, because then you naturally move your wand away from the mirror, whereas if you're standing more with the mirror in front of you and the wand comes this way, you don't push your lashes up as much. So what I like to do is start at the base of the lash. I do this to myself all the time. Wiggle it left and right, and then pull it out to the end. And if you repeat that application, you'll get a much denser application from your mascara. So in the case of the Chanel mascara, where you have the bristles and the combs, I'm kind of using the bristles to deposit the paste. Once the lashes are kind of pushed up, you can kind of twist the wand along the top side as well. It's especially effective if you've done an eyeshadow application and you might have a little fallout on the top side of your lashes. It helps get rid of that, and it makes your eyelashes look blacker. Now I'm using the spiky side, and I'm just combing through. You can use a lash comb, and you can just go a little bit from the top on the ends, not too hard because you don't want to push them down. Push your lashes up so you get a nice bend on them. You really want to do this while the mascara is still wet so you can manipulate it a lot. Let me see. Yeah, nice. I would probably traditionally do the same thing as we did before, but with the wand in a different position. So you'd start at the base, wiggle a little left and right, deposit as much mascara as possible before pulling the wand out to the end. I would cover the lash line once. I like to go back for a second layer before any mascara dries, and this time I'm just putting it on and pulling it straight out to the end to build up the density. The nice thing about this brush, look down in that way, is that it makes it really easy to get to the corners. If you tend to get too much on the bottom, this brush is great for just getting the tiniest amount on the bottom. Again, you can comb through if you feel like you have too much somewhere, if you want to manage any clumps. And see how I'm using the comb to really push the lashes upward. If for some reason you feel like you still want more from your lashes and your mascara is not enough, you can put your chin up, look in the mirror, and you can just take your liquid eyeliner instead of making a cat line and just put a little bit in between your lashes at the base. And you can see that it builds a kind of a quiet, kind of delicate, but really makes the lashes look denser without having a kind of a classic cat line. You can do the liquid liner from the underside.